Let's get to the questions, please, that were sent in to me via social media. Let's get right to it. At Stephen A. Smith. Who is this right here? Raging Celtics. At Raging Celtics. That's his handle. He writes, who's really stopping Boston this year, and who does JT need to do, or what does JD need to do to earn league MVP? Well, to earn league MVP, he can't tail off while Jokic and Giannis and Embiid are ascending. We know that Jason Tatum is a superstar, but he can't tail off a little bit while they're ascending because they're clearly going for league MVP honors. Jokic went and did his thing a few years ago. Last year, he tailed off because he didn't care about it. His priority was the championship. He said, Embiid, you want the league MVP? Go ahead. We're going to win this trophy. And that's what the hell Jokic did. That's why he's the best in the game. By the way, Jason Tatum, I love him. One of my favorite players. He's got to show up when it's deep in the finals. Like, yes, he shows up in the playoffs. He's had a lot of big moments in the playoffs. And I believe had he not gotten hurt on the first offensive possession against the Miami Heat in Game 7 last year, they may have beaten Miami. I wish they had beaten Miami. Let me rephrase. I wasn't rooting against Miami because that meant I would not have been in South Beach. And we both know I would rather be in South Beach. However, Boston would have given Denver a much better series. That finals would not have ended in 5 games. If the Boston Celtics were in the finals against the Denver Nuggets, that series, I believe, would have gone 7 games. That's just me. Having said all of that, styles make fights. We all know that. And in the end, what it comes down to is Miami wasn't a match for Denver. But with Jason Tatum, he is a superstar. He just can't tail off. Boston, Milwaukee's coming. No, they're not the same defensively. But Damian Lillard is something special. The thing is, I didn't know the Boston Celtics would get Drew Holiday. And since they got Drew Holiday, the Boston Celtics, to me, are the favorites. And I think they would beat Milwaukee in a 7-game series, even though I love my man Damian Lillard, and I'm not rooting against him by any stretch. Bottom line is, I think Boston still deserve to be the favorites. Let's go to the next question. At Big Will 4167. How many games will Anthony Davis and Kawhi will play in your opinion? I think that Anthony Davis, first of all, I got a bet with Shannon Sharp. He's betting me that Anthony Davis is going to play 65 games of the 88-2 regular season's game. I told him he will lose that bet before Valentine's Day. And I'm going to win that bet. You can book it. Anthony Davis is going to miss 17 games. You can book that. He's going to miss 17 games. I was just watching him the other day. I was at the arena. I was at the arena watching them, and you know their preseason game against the Milwaukee Bucks. Every time Anthony Davis falls down, I'm praying he gets up. He gonna miss 17 games. Let's get that out the way. I say he's gonna play about 60. I think Kawhi Leonard gonna play about 55. That's how I view it. All I care about with Kawhi Leonard at this point, could you be healthy for come playoff time? Could you literally win or lose a playoff series without sitting on the bench because you're injured, that you're healthy enough to be on the court when you actually lose? Because you might not lose with Kawhi Leonard on the bench because the brother's a superstar on the court because he's a superstar. And him and Paul George is vowing to play bully ball. He vowed that on Podcast P. Okay? I can't wait. I'm looking forward to it. Let's see what happens, all right? Let's get that out the way. This is at Valdain, Valdain. Do you think parents should be held accountable by our system of laws if they allow young children between the ages of 1 and 10 to become Dallas Cowboy fans? I think it should be considered reckless endangerment and emotional abuse. There should be intervention. That's hilarious. That's true. But I would say up until the age of about 7. After 7, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? They start formulating their own thoughts while they're out there playing with the kids. And Stevie A love the kids. He sure does. So I don't want to say that about that. I want to go that far. All right? Let's go to at Mitch the God 86. Trying to bite off the Charlemagne with the THA. I see what you're doing, but it's all right. Or it's G-O-D, or G as in 0D, who knows? He says, have you started your own production company? If so, how and when will you be searching, scouting talent to bring onto your brand? Yes, I have started my own production company. Yes, I am producing content. I'm just getting started. It's in its infancy stages. I've got a couple of projects that I've done, a couple of more projects that I'm working on. But this podcast is an incredible priority to me. But in the future, We'll see. I'll be scouting talent. You know what I want to do? Let me tell you what I really, really want to do. I want to produce my own Def Comedy Jam. And I want to co-produce it with Snoop Dogg. That's what I want to do. I really do, because that's my brother. I love him. And I want to do that. I just got that itch. I want to produce my own comedy show. I want to handpick comedians along with my man Snoop Dogg. And we do a Kings of Comedy style thing going on, or a Def Comedy style thing going on from the days when Martin Lawrence used to host it and stuff like that. I would be down to co-produce something like that with my man Snoop Dogg. No doubt about it, because he's hilarious as hell. Okay? By the way, Snoop, I love you. You're my brother, man. But how you going to call me out for throwing a bad first pitch? I know I bounced it to the plate and all of that other stuff. It was pretty bad. It was an embarrassing throw. But it wasn't worse than yours. It wasn't worse than yours, Snoop. I'm just saying, homie. I love you, bro. On the scene, at sports_takes_00. Was LeBron disrespecting the game by eating on the bench? Thoughts? Stop. First of all, LeBron always eats on the bench. Sometimes he eats on the bench during games. Secondly, he's LeBron James. He has never cheated the game. Don't do that. Don't do that. Get on him when, he shoots a fall-away jump shot instead of taking it to the hole, or when he missed clutch free throws from time to time, or something like that. Don't do that. Don't do that. This brother means too much to the game, and he's given too much to the game for you to get on him about anything other than actual basketball. Actual basketball. If he on the bench and he want to eat a tangerine or choose on some cheese doodles or whatever, that's his damn business. As long as he's ready to go out there and play when it's time. Leave him alone. At King of Queens 69, he writes, let's hear the playoff baseball takes. What's your thoughts on the Phillies playoff run and Bryce Harper? I think Bryce Harper is my favorite player in Major League Baseball. And I think the Phillies going to win the World Series. I thought Atlanta would get him, but Philly bum rushed him. And I'm talking about 28-11 on your home turf since 2004 in playoff competition. Okay? Undefeated thus far. Was it 8-0 or whatever? I don't know. It was 3-0. I don't know what the hell it is. I forgot the number. Phillies are balling. Kyle Schwarber is no joke. Wheeler's doing his thing. I'm just looking at the Phillies right now. Real Muto, I got mad love and respect. Now, I think it's going to come down to the Texans Rangers, rather. And because I think the Rangers are going to beat the Astros, because I just think they got slightly better pitching, and I think their hitting is going to be too enormous for the Astros. But I think that the Texans, Houston Texans, I'm thinking D'Amico Ryans, and the Texans and C.J. Stroud and how they're playing in the NFL. I apologize. But the Texas Rangers, if Scherzer was on his A game and fully healthy, I would believe in the Rangers more, but that's not the case, so I'm not. I'm of the belief that the Philadelphia Phillies are going to win the World Series. And I think Bryce Harper and Kyle Schwarber are going to carry them there. That's what I believe. That's just me. I'm sorry.